Hey, welcome back, food scientists. We're going to talk a little bit about applications of pH both inside of us and in our kitchen in this next video. The pH balance of various substances, such as enzymes and stomach acid, is really important to the digestive process. A buffer is known as a compound that helps stabilize pH by absorbing excess acids or bases in a solution. And we have buffers in our digestive system as well as our blood work in our body. Okay? A buffer solution combines a weak acid or a base with one of its salts. This is an example of a pH tract in the human. Okay? So we have our esophagus, our stomach, our colon, our intestine, and these are all the different pHs within our digestive tract. So you see a lot of our organs are actually all of them, it looks like according to this diagram, are acidic. Okay, so they have compounds within them that are acidic in nature, which means that it's going to help break down the different things that we eat. Like we have things like hydrochloric acid and things like that within our body that help break down in our stomach these different nutrients, which are then absorbed into our bodies as a result. Okay? Buffers, like we just talked about, are very important. They help maintain our pH. The coating in some aspirin tablets are coated with buffer to aid with digestion and prevent damage to the digestive system. Buffers also play a role in stabilizing the pH of some processed foods in the form of buffering salts or proteins. So we're not going to do too much with buffers in here, but just so an FYI, if you hear me talk about buffers, they are important and they do function within each of us. pH in your kitchen is also important to understand. Knowing the pH environment in which different bacteria grow best is really important in order to preserve food and keep it safe for all of us. For example, botulism is caused by a toxin in low acid foods with a pH above 4.6. Yeasts grow in a pH range of 4 to 7, so that's acidic. And molds grow in a pH from 2 to 8.5, so that can be basic or acidic, but that's kind of why we have a lot of mold growth in a lot of food that we eat. Possibly there's a potential for mold because it can be kept in an acidic or a slightly basic environment. But salts, however, work to help preserve food, and that is known through the process of dehydration. And we'll talk about dehydration and salt preservation when we get to our biotechnology unit later on. In baking, pH also affects the flavor, color, and texture of what we eat. A chemical leavening agent is an acid and a base that neutralize batters and doughs to lighten or aerate baked products. So we use chemical leavening agents very often, especially when we're making breads and things like that. Chemical leavening agents include baking soda, baking powder, and ammonium bicarbonate. Baking soda is a base that needs an acidic ingredient to produce carbon dioxide for leavening. Baking powder includes baking soda, dry acids, and a filler that leavens when liquid is added and again when the mixture is heated in the oven or however we're heating it. And ammonium bicarbonate produces ammonia gas, so is only used in commercial settings. We wouldn't be able to use this in our kitchen. The pH changes in batters and doughs affect the color and texture of different baked products. So acids such as lemon juice or cream of tartar, for example, that's something that people utilize in cooking, are added to angel food cake to help develop its white color. Chocolate cakes have a deeper, darker color and a smoother flavor if the batter is more basic. So the darker and smoother it is, the more basic that cake is. We saw in that activity that we did in class, hopefully, depending on when you're watching this, devil's food cake is the most basic food item in that activity. So it's very basic. It's pH up around 8 or so. Eggs become more basic in storage as CO2 escapes through the egg shell. Mousse, soufflés, and meringues need fresh eggs because their thicker egg whites trap more air. So that thickness helps trap the air and helps that keep that nice little texture that we have in those different food items. You can go ahead and pause this if you are interested in learning more about the chemistry of eggs and eggshells. We're not going to focus on too much on that here today. I believe this is towards the end. As fruits mature, acids develop that improve juice quality, affect color, and increase the sugar content. Testing the pH levels of fruit helps determine when we should harvest or pick the different fruits and vegetables that we have. And food scientists have created charts for citrus growers to show the best harvest time for peak flavor because we have done those testings and we know that as the fruits mature, it's going to become more acidic, especially if it keeps going on, and then it becomes really sour and undesirable. So we want to harvest the fruit when it is tasting the best, obviously. So there you have it. These are our learning targets. If you have any questions on what we just covered today, please feel free to let me know. We'll have plenty of time to practice in class too. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.